Your husband is the coolest guy I know.
Yeah.
He is the most, Michel is
Yeah.
so cool. And every time I see him, he's like, Conan, you look fantastic. And it's like, he always looks perfect. I don't. And he'll work in a little.
Yes, you do.
We're always working a little dig.
You know how to dress. You're
Thank
good.
you. I got there.
You
knew the old me who didn't know how to dress.
No, I don't know that. I don't know how to dress. So you were always ahead of me.
You, remember you being not a big fan of the cars that I drove back in the day. I had some shitty.
So excited about the Ford Taurus, and I didn't understand that.
I told Lisa I had this really shitty car. You invited me once to Liz and Gerald's wedding, your friends.
Yeah.
And you said I could be your plus one, and I was like, yay! So I picked you up, and it was in a car that I had bought at the airport that was used at the time. In the 80s, this thing was a absolute piece of shit. And in the back seat, it looked like someone had butchered an animal. And it was in a Isuzu Opel, which I think they made like two of them. And then they said, this is more of a, I don't know what this is. It might be a clock, but it's not a car. But I took you to a wedding in the valley. And I remembered picking you up and driving. It was like, and we had to go over the 405 freeway. And there's a big hill you have to climb. And I remember thinking, I'm not sure it's going to go over. But Lisa, I'll never forget when I picked her up in the car, she went, oh, okay. This is, a bunch of years before Friends. You were doing the, oh, yes, well, look in the back seat. Oh, well, that could be blood. I don't know. And it was really funny. Then I finally was doing okay, and then I had my second car was a 73 Plymouth Valiant. But then finally I said, I'm going to buy a new car. And I told you and I called you and I said, I'm coming over, baby. I bought a new car and I want you to see it. And I came over and I bought a brand new Ford Taurus.
Oh my God.
No, you were so excited. You went, no, it's a GTO, right?
Not a GTO.
What's it called?
SHO, super high output.
Oh, okay. And you said, no, this is a fantastic car.
Yeah.
This car, and it's fast. I mean, you were saying, no.
I kept saying, it's the wolf in sheep's clothing. It's the wolf in sheep's clothing, Lisa.
God.
You don't get it.
Any car you have to call a wolf in sheep's clothing?
It's a Ford Taurus on the outside, but it's got an incredible engine and a stick shift. And then...
what color was it?
It was an
Ireland green.
It was an Ireland green.
Ford Taurus on the outside, Ford Gemini on the inside.
And then, but I'll never forget you're waiting out front, because this is like, I swear to God, this is so long ago. You're waiting out front, because I said, I'll be right over. You're waiting, and I see you looking at me, and an architect couldn't draw a more perfect O. Lisa's mouth was just a perfect O. And then I was like,
I can't get over a wolf in sheep's clothing.
I know.
It's like you're saying it might look like this, but it's a good car, I promise.
It's a good car, and it was brand new, and I bought it in Massachusetts. And when I bought it, I didn't know how to drive stick, and that's how I learned how to drive stick, is with a Ford Taurus that had a stick shift.
Why did you buy a stick?
Because that's what men did.
That's what men did.
If you had a fast car,
And they were cheaper, too.
you didn't get, some wimpy automatic transmission.
No, I needed to have full control over every inch of my Ford Taurus.
It was just a time when people who started doing well and then, got their dream car was like a BMW.
Yeah.
And that's what I was expecting.
You're expecting a BMW.
And then,
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I couldn't tell the difference between that and a Dodge Dart.
It was not.
I couldn't tell that my grandma had a Dodge Dart, and it just kind of looked similar.
Yeah. I think what I was going for was I'm so confident that I have these cars that an old lady would drive. That's how cool and confident I am. And it never worked. And it's because I wasn't that cool and confident.
Yes. No, you were. But you also said, no, I don't like flashy.
Yeah. I don't like flashy.
And then I didn't like flashy either, it turned out.
Right.
Yeah. Because the first time on Friends and everyone's getting new cars and, you see all our parking spots and it's a Mercedes coupe and a Porsche and all these cars. I got a Acura Legend. Because I didn't know how long this show was going to go.
Yeah. And that was in season 8.
Maybe we'll only have another year. I don't know. Nothing lasts forever.
That's so hilarious, especially if your spot was like next to Matt LeBlanc.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Because
he
was such a is such a gearhead that I could imagine he had a different crazy car every week. And you're like, well, the Acura has a lot of glove compartment space.
I know. I remember everybody going, yeah. That's sensible, I guess. I don't know.
You did the sensible thing.
I wanted to be sensible.
I remember back in those days, you had I don't know if you've ever made this since, but you used to make something, which was you would take M&Ms.
Yes.
Pour them into a pan.
Yeah.
A big sheet pan.
Yeah.
Put them in the oven and melt them.
Well, not totally.
Not totally.
Yeah.
But so that, but
crack.
Some of the integrity of the M&M is compromised.
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds like the point, right?
Yeah. That was the point.
Uh-oh.
Deep breath. Hold. No, deep breath. Hold. Exhale. Can I have a raise? It just spiked.
The podcast just got canceled.
Well, that would be like, my days are free. This is the part I don't like. I don't mind the inflating part. What I hate is when it's going down and there's the throbbing in your arm. That just always feels gross to me. Does anybody else have that?
No.
Okay. I'd like to be excused from this podcast. I thought that was some exciting podcasting that just happened.
Yeah.
It was. What throbbing? What do you mean throbbing?
When you compress your arm, the blood, then, of course, you feel it going thump in your arm.
I don't have that, so one of us is dying.
Do you ever think...
Wait, we got to get to the end of this M&M's thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you would make this thing, and it was like this big sheet of kind of quasi-melted M&M.
Yeah, it maintains its integrity if done right. It's just that the candy cracks and a little bit of the chocolate bubbles out, and it tastes like a different kind of chocolate.
Right.
It tastes like good chocolate.
Do you still
No.
Do you still do this?
No.
When was the last time you made that? Because you used to make it a lot.
Well, yeah, when I was young and could have M&Ms whenever I wanted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's been a long time.
Right.
I think after I had Julian, my son, I stopped doing that.
Right.
Yeah, because we had to be more healthy. Yeah.
I think of
I haven't done it in a long
those
time.
days, LA, living in a $380 a month apartment. And I remembered I made one thing and one thing only, which was bumblebee tuna fish. I'd put it in a bowl. I'd put a bunch of Miracle Whip in there, mix it up. I'd put it on 2 pieces of toast to make a sandwich, and then I'd have that with a bowl of the oodles of noodles ramen.
Ramen, yeah.
And you'd think, oh, okay, you do that maybe 5 times in a row and you're good. I'm made of that stuff. My entire body. It's probably why I'm wearing a blood pressure monitor right now. I think
There's the source of the throbbing.
I've destroyed my body.
The flavor packet alone.
Oh, I love the flavor packet.
No,
God knows what's in there.
Right.
But that's all I did. And I think back on that now, just as you said, we all were, I don't know, we were all just automatically doing these things. And then now, no, I would not get an Isuzu Opal.
Which, by the way, didn't you share that with Greg?
Yeah, my writing partner, Greg Daniels, and I initially shared it. And if one of us had to date, we had to ask the other if we could borrow the car. We were adult men sharing an apartment. We also shared an apartment. We shared an apartment, and we also shared an office where our desks faced each other and
a car.
And a car.
I mean, it's more than any married couple.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So true.
And absolute madness. And
But
then
also, you came out here with jobs. Like,
we had a tryout at a job, which was not necessarily the news.
Oh, that was a tryout?
I think so. I mean, meaning we were signed on to do, I think, 4 weeks. And then if it didn't work, which is why we were so petrified that we bought the cheapest we rented a car, and then we realized Greg was always really good at this. It'd be cheaper if we just bought this absolute piece of shit that they're selling at the airport to saps like us. And we bought it. I remember it had a sticker on the back that it said, "I heart my," and that was the face of a poodle. And I tried with gasoline to get that thing off, and it wouldn't come off. And so I just decided, okay, I'm just going to go with it.
Yeah.
Jen Aniston said once that she said that when you guys are doing Friends that you don't, it just occurred to me right now, Lisa doesn't like it when the audience is laughing. It's something she's said. Like you would say something and it would get a big laugh and it would irritate you.
Because they were laughing for too long. It wasn't that funny. That's why. It wasn't an honest response, and it irritated me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you're just ruining the timing of the rest of the show. I mean, there are other lines. I didn't say it. Sometimes I would just look out. They'd be laughing too long, and sometimes I would just look out and go, "Come on." Really angry.
I can see that. I could see, but I understand. But no, I would happily let those laughs splash along.
Yeah. Because a TV show is not for the studio audience. It's made for the TV viewers at home.
Mm-hmm.
So that's who we're in service to.
Right.
If it were a stage play, laugh as long as you want. I'll figure out things to keep my character busy.
Right.
Waiting to continue with it. That's fine, Right. But then it's being filmed, and now I'm just sort of like standing there. And then you do like things that you hate, just like, "Nah, that's right. I said that, And, it's terrible. I think they instructed our audience not to do anything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I like a warm-up person who tells the crowd, "Don't laugh."
Well, we did so many takes, they did stop laughing.
Yeah.
Which then made the writers think, all right, it doesn't work. It's like, well, it worked. It worked the first time. And then, all right, well, let's come. And so they'd come up with alternates.
Right.
We took 6 to 8 hours to shoot a half hour. But all I knew was, you're going to take the laugh track from the first take anyway and move it to whichever take this is. So who's suffering because they're not laughing? I'm okay if they're not laughing as hard. We can keep going.
Right.
We can, I don't know. But it wasn't up to me.
Yeah.
Because I was just an actor on a show.
When you see a Friends on, does that affect you in any way? Or is it just...
Well, I used to not be able to watch it at all. I mean, I'd see it on and be like mildly interested, and then I'd see me and say, "That's enough of that. I can't bear it." And then, well, listen, after Matthew died, I could start watching the show again because it wasn't about me. It had to do with him for some reason. And so I have started watching Friends, not started like season 1 and, but there are marathons on, and I have spent at times since he died all day long watching the show.
It's interesting. And now you can see, and you can enjoy the show. You can enjoy Matthew. Yeah. You can enjoy what he's doing.
Yeah. Everyone is phenomenally hilarious to me.
You started doing that show and you called me up.
Uh-oh.
You would,
I don't have an eye for what's going to be a hit.
Well,
I want to say that.
No. That was nothing about that.
Okay, great.
You called me up and you were raving about
Matthew.
Yes. And you were saying he's so funny. And there was part of me, that was jealous. Like I was okay.
Yeah.
I make you laugh pretty hard. And you were like, no, you don't understand. This guy's really.
I wasn't that bad.
No, you weren't. But I'm just saying it's. I think that's human.
Is it?
What?
I was just surprised you classified it as part of you was jealous.
Yeah.
Instead of your entire being.
What I meant, I was excluding bone, like bone and sinew, but my entire spirit.
I see.
No, okay. There was part of me that was just like,
sure.
and then I was watching him and going, yep.
Yeah. Well, no, because I mean, you are. the funniest person I know.
No. That's not what this is about.
One of the funniest people I know. Well, now it's hard to hear, you see. But it is true. That's just a fact.
But I was so...
But he was such a huge... I thought that Chandler character, when I read it, I went, oh, they have a gay character. That's good. I thought that's all I heard. That's all I heard, you know. And so at the table read, I just did a double take at him. Oh my God. That I never even in a million years could have envisioned anyone playing the character like that and with his own rhythm and everything. It's his own.
Impeccable timing.
But also just hilarious. I mean, honest to God, shooting those titles in the fountain was a nightmare. You know, I don't like discomfort, but at all. Mild, any kind. I don't like it.
Right.
And that fountain was cold. And it was very late at night. We'd done, I think, 500 takes of dancing. Unmotivated dancing is hard too, right? That's just, it's hard.
When one's in a fountain, one does dance. When a bunch of young New Yorkers are in a fountain, they dance.
You know, and then hey, what if you play with that scarf, you know, stuff, and you just get like, no, I don't want, it's not funny. I don't want, you know. I was a real joy. But, and it was so cold and we had to keep doing it. And Matthew, and they said, we're going to do one more take. And he said, one more? Okay. Can't remember a time I wasn't in a fountain. Seriously. Can't remember a time I wasn't wet. What are we, wet? What are we, wet in a fountain? What are we, dancing in a fountain? Yeah, I mean...
And this is before the show has even come on.
Right.
So that's also important to know is no one's a star.
And it wasn't they hadn't written him like that yet.
Yeah.
And I don't know when I've laughed so hard. And so I'm not kidding. You see us laughing.
Yep.
And it's because he had just said, they're like, all right, ready? We're going to go again. What are we going in again? Are we going to do it again? And just laughing hysterically, doubled over. And that's in the titles.
He came on our show not long after that and showed up early. And so we got to hang around and talk to him. And he was so excited.
Yeah.
They had just shot the episode with Jill Goodacre where he's trapped in a ATM
vestibule.
With Jill Goodacre. And
I just wanted to say vestibule. I was proud I remembered the word. Sorry, go on. I'm ruining your timing.
No,
now.
but it's bring it on. Yum, 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 yum. Blood pressure falling.
It's your medicine.
Years being added to my life because of unmotivated laughter.
So he was on talking about Jill Goodacre.
No, we were. Yeah. This wasn't even on TV. We were just outside in the 6th floor. And he was just so filled with joy and excitement. And he was saying, and I got to shoot the scene with Jill Goodacre. Jill Goodacre, she's beautiful. And I was like, he was like, it's all going so well. And things, as everything plays out, it's terribly, terribly sad. But and I just have this tiny, tiny fraction of moments here and there with him. But I'll inevitably go back to those moments where he was, at the wedding and early on, and when I would see him and he was just so happy, so talented. So, that's a little bit of a blessing is when you can go back and see that.
Yeah. I mean, and also, look, that was, everyone was so excited. And I think for some people, and he was definitely one of them. It's, oh my God, this would be really good. Everything will be fixed now, Yeah. And that's not how it goes.
Well, we've seen that a lot, which is if people and I think I bring this up a lot, but I think there's, I've seen a lot of people become famous or get famous or start in a certain place, and I've had an interesting vantage point on it. And what I've seen time and time and time again, which I wish I could tell people, is there's a lot that's kind of nice, that is nice about being successful, and that's nice about having someone be happy to see you. It doesn't fix anything.
Mm-mm.
If something is broken, if something is cracked or something needs mending, it will not fix any of that. In fact, it probably hurts.
Yeah,
And
because
that
the
is
disappointment.
and the rage. Wait a minute, I got the thing I wanted. Now I'm famous. I got the house. I got the attention. And
Yeah.
why the fuck isn't this fixed? And it's like, well, no, that's a whole this is a clear broth. This isn't going to do anything for that.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel that it's like, because I remember thinking that before, when I was struggling, having my ramen noodles every night and, everything, and thought, like someone I know like would become famous or something. And I'd think, oh God, see, yeah, then if everyone loves you, then you'll give yourself, you'll love you. Like without even realizing how sick that was. It was like, yeah, that's the healing power of fame. But luckily I had therapy before Friends and did understand. But I know it's at the root of all that is like, yeah, because if everything goes well and everybody loves me, then I will submit to loving myself too. And I think that's the problem. I mean, I think we think there's something shameful in loving yourself, or you're going to be an asshole if you do. But that's not what love is.
Jesus.
So I've got to go because I think I've just healed all of you. Your blood pressure dropped.
You did
20
actually.
points just now.
You are,
and you're welcome.
You are. There's all the things that people know about you, being incredibly funny and brilliant and having this great just career. I don't know that people understand how wise you are. Of all my friends, which is fortunately for me, I know a lot of people. I think you're one of the wisest people I know.
Come on.
I'm serious. No, in terms of
Getting angry.
Just
stop lying.
In terms of people, you've always been people and what life really is and what's important. I think you're very gifted that way.
Oh, thanks.
So I think we're going to end on that.
All right.
And thank you so much for coming in.
Thank
Seriously.
you.
And congratulations on the new show because I love it. And
good. Yay.
The idea that these very impossibly cool guys called you up and said, we've always wanted to work with you. You, Lise Kudrow, that's just, it makes perfect sense to me.
Oh,
and
thanks.
It's very cool.
It was thrilling for me.
All right.
Thanks.
Well, next time come up with a better, Conan O'Brien blank,
I'm perfectly happy, thrilled, honored, grateful, I said again, about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
There you go. That's it.
With anger.
There's the anger. We've talked about our friendship before, but one of the things that I remembered giving me a lot of solace was I thought because I came from the East Coast and had gone to this whatever, very academic school and I hadn't had any training in acting or anything or written professionally. And I come out to LA and I felt very self-conscious and then I go to this improv class and I noticed the person who I thought was the funniest, most interesting person in the room, Lisa, and I start talking to her and she's just graduated from Vassar and she's pre-med and no one in her family's done this.
Right. And your mom went to Vassar.
Yeah,
that
my
was
mom.
the other thing. You're like, oh, my mom went there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you graduate, I don't know if that's everybody, but first thing you ask someone who looks around the same age is, so where'd you go to school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I don't know.
Do I know anyone there? Do we have anyone in common? Yeah.
But it just felt like, well, wait a minute, she's doing this, and she seemed very confident and like, well, this is what I'm going to do. And
well, I was confident once I saw you in the class, and I figured out what to do based on what you were doing because I didn't understand the terminology at all. Like commit. It's like I don't know what that means. Commit.
Right.
Commit to being an actor. I don't know what that means.
Right.
Yeah. But you didn't see me do anything. I made a beeline for you right after you did the, space ball or lift a disc.
All this embarrassing stuff that you do.
But you did it with commitment. You weren't making a meal out of everything. You were just doing it. And you just looked like you actually were lifting a disc or you actually were throwing a ball. And everybody else was anger, like, and I thought, I can't be part of this. I can't. I just can't. And you didn't. And I made a beeline for you.
Oh.
And said, hi, that was really good. I'm Lisa.
Well, one of the things that's funny is you and I are both, we were in improv together for all these, that's how we really got started. And there's aspects of improv that's, I'm sorry, it's embarrassing.
Yes.
There are parts, and it's so funny because you're an incredible improviser, and I moved on, got a writing job in New York at SNL. So Greg and I left. So I was gonna, I think, be in the Groundlings. I was just about to go into it when I had to leave, and we had done all these classes.
He was absolutely going to get voted into the Sunday Company.
Which was going to mean a lot to me. And then it's like, nope, paying job, got to go. But what I recall most from that period was there's a side of both of us, this is a similarity we have, where we want to do it, but there's some embarrassing stuff that goes with doing improv and acting, these kind of exercises. And neither one of us had much patience for it. And I thought, is there something wrong with us? And I'm a fan of the show Hacks. And I was watching the 3rd season of Hacks. And there's this great scene where Jean Smart agrees to do some improv. And she goes backstage, and all these kids at, like, I forget where it is.
It was on a university campus.
It was on a university campus. And they're all saying, hey, let's do zip, zap, zoom. Zip, zap, 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 zoom. And she's there, and she's established as one of the great comics of all time. And she's achieved everything. And she goes, let's not do that. Let's just not do that. And then they're like, okay, let's do bip, bop, boo, a bip, bop, boo. And then they're pretending to throw things at each other. And I thought, it was such a great scene, and I thought of you because we've had it since where you and I have been asked to do improv.
Yes.
And
that's what I was thinking.
For a good cause.
Uh-huh.
And you and I will show up, and once again...
Let's do warm-ups, everybody.
We're in an alley. We're in an alley.
Oh, no.
Well, literally, remember this one? We were literally in an alley, like down by Sawtell or so. We're in an alley outside with about 11 people, and it was for a good cause, but they said, okay, we're going to raise some money tonight. We're all going to go out there. And first of all, it was way too many people.
Yeah.
Like, I think if there's like 40 people doing improv scenes together, I just think this is insanity.
Yeah.
And then they were saying, let's go bip. I'll say bip, bop, bibbity bee. And then you say zip, dop, dibbity doo. And so I stopped it and said, is it okay if I'll write you guys a check? Tell me what my presence here will raise for this really good cause, and I'll write you a check. And then I just want to go home. And of course, people were like, dude, what happened to you, man? Like I was letting down, you lost the improv spirit. I'm like, I never liked this part. I always hated this.
Then I'm just like this coward or get along to go along who's like, sure. And then it's my turn. I just don't do it. Oh, no, it's called passive aggressive. That's what it's called.
Tell me more about this passive aggressive. I'd like to learn how to do it.
Not that it's funny because it's ironic, but... No, but that's, by the way, we also have that in common.
Yes.
We're so much therapy to stop being passive aggressive or manipulative in any way.
But then I'm just passive aggressive to the therapist. I'm like, oh, well, that's it's good advice. That's really good advice.
Is that passive aggressive? Shit. I thought that was just
Dick being an asshole.
No. Now, am I in trouble? Because no, that's very kind of you. Therapy's not the place to say exactly what you think. Because then the therapist can turn on you.
Right.
Oh,
never
no,
show
I'm
a
in trouble.
therapist your vulnerability. That's one thing I've learned. Because then they'll use that to try and get you.
I know. By the way, this is not a bit for me. I mean every word I've just said. And I've learned a lot. I got to go.
Not until my blood pressure settles. tell me if this was a dream job or not. I know that as a young man, obviously before you had made it, you worked at the Guinness plant. Is that right?
There was a Guinness bottling plant in my hometown, whereby the Guinness would be brought up in these huge tankers from the Guinness breweries in Dublin,
Right,
to our establishment, where the Guinness would be bottled.
mm-hmm.
And the Guinness would then come down in crates, 24 bottles, per crate, and to be stacked on pallets. And I drove a forklift truck, so once the pallets were filled with, I would go in and lift the pallet of Guinness, and it would be stored at 54 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 days. Yeah. And then it would be distributed to various pubs and stuff,
Yeah.
But it was a great job. I loved it.
I would say, I mean, you just hear about, well, the forklift sounds fun, but also working in a Guinness factory just sounds like Willy Wonka. It sounds like it's the Irish version of Willy Wonka. But Willy Wonka just makes one kind of beer, but all the kids get to drink it. Yeah. It is funny. I always laugh when I'm back in Ireland and I see lots of advertisements for Guinness, and I think you don't need to advertise it. It just seems.
I know.
Why are there ads everywhere? Hey, have you tried Guinness? Would you like some? You should try it. We know. It's the touchstone of this whole country is Guinness.
There used to be an ad. I don't know if you would have got it here. I'm talking late 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And the ad for Guinness, program's on, go to a commercial break. And the screen would just go black. And it would stay black. And you'd be wanting to go over and bang the side of the television. Mm-hmm. And as you're about to do that, you suddenly start to see these little bubbles. So what it was a pint of Guinness, the camera slowly moving up to reveal the white head.
Yeah.
That was the ad.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
That was it.
They did show that
this
here.
30 seconds of blackness was brought to you by Guinness. That was it.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It's funny because I know that for years, I don't think they do anymore, but they encouraged, they said, oh, it's fine. Even if you're pregnant, it's good for the baby. It's good for the breast milk. Sure. If you've,
iron, full of iron.
Yeah.
Yeah. My first son was born in Hollis Street,
mm-hmm.
a very famous maternity hospital in Dublin. And my wife got liver with, it wasn't she gave birth to our son, Michael. But she was very, very anemic. We didn't realize this.
Mm-hmm.
And she needed something like 12 units of blood. And I was about to start shooting Michael Collins. I had cycled back home once the baby was born and all that. Everything was okay. And suddenly there was this emergency. These 5-6 nurses apparently came in. My wife saying, call my husband, please call my husband. And they're going, it's all right. Don't worry. It's all right.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all right.
Yeah.
But they started giving her a bottle of Guinness every day.
I'm picturing it hanging up like an IV.
No.
That's what they do in Ireland. Don't worry. Yes, anybody, they bring them in. Motorcycle accident. They put a thing of Guinness up, run an IV into your arm.
I'll be all right.
Just a scratch.
Off your hands.
Massive internal damage. Give him some Guinness. He's all right now. He's all right. We were talking just before we got started about there was an event we did because you have this great Spielberg association that, because you were in played Oscar Schindler in Schindler's List and Oscar Schindler. You don't remember? God, you've had too much Guinness. This is a big moment in your career. You should remember this, Liam.
Oh, that black and white movie. Yes.
Yeah. He couldn't afford color film.
Yeah.
It was a weird time for him to cheap out on such an important movie. No, such a beautiful, such a fantastic movie, and you were so brilliant in that role. And I know that but you and I got invited to this big Spielberg event, and they sat us next to each other.
Yeah.
Someone thought, we'll put Neeson next to O'Brien. Put the Irish together. But it was a pretty heavy table we were at because I was the MC for the event. You were speaking at the event. I think Springsteen was. So at our table was Bruce Springsteen, Patty, myself, because I'm the MC. That's how I got in.
Yeah.
You're there, of course. and Steven Spielberg, President Barack Obama comes and sits at the table.
Yeah.
And you and I'll never forget, we're sitting next to each other wondering, how the fuck did we get to this table?
I know. And so I'm feeling that side.
I know. We just both naturally, everyone else at the table feels like this is the table we should be at. Yeah. And you and I are there. We're both 6'4", but we both shrank. Yes. And we both felt like it's a mistake that we're here.
I know. I still feel like that if I'm in illustrious company. Still feel that. You know?
What is that? Why do we? Because there are people who don't feel
not worthy.
Yeah, exactly. But we don't feel. We're always feeling that way. I'm always thinking that I came in through the back. That I quickly got out of my waiter's uniform and put. I never feel like I should be there.
I know. And Sir Anthony Hopkins, Tony Hopkins, one of the great actors. I was in a film 40 years ago, Tahiti. A remake of Mutiny on the Bounty. Mm-hmm. Mel Gibson, Dan Day-Lewis, extraordinary cast. And Tony was fucking magnificent as Captain Bligh.
Yeah.
Mel was Fletcher Christian. But anytime I run into Tony Hopkins, and I saw him in Rome 3 weeks ago, I was finishing a film, and Tony was in the same hotel. And I went up to his room, knocked on the door, met him, and give each other a big hug. And it's been close to 40 years since I'd seen him. How's it going, Tony? You know what he says to me?
What?
He leans on me. He says, good lad. I haven't been found out yet.
I haven't been found out.
And he means it.
Yeah, of course he means it.
2 fucking Academy Awards.
Yeah.
I've seen him on stage. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
But he means it.
He means it. And I've talked about this before. There are people, I know Chris Rock used to say it to me when he'd come on the show. He'd lean over and go like, well, they haven't found me out yet. And it's just, I know that, and I think it's the people I like the most have that.
Yeah.
It's almost, they're not too comfortable. No. They think.
And you don't want to be. I don't want to be. I made over 100 films.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think, on set, if someone's not going, I think, go on, say something. Say fucking something, Liam. You've done 100 fucking movies. I thought, well, excuse me, do you mind if I just say something? I think if she comes in the door first, that'll solve your camera problem. Let's try it. Okay, it works. just saying.
I'm so sorry. And also...
But I don't mean it in a...
No, I
I'm
know.
humble. It's like...
I know this for a fact, when I was 32 years old in New York City, I was with my girlfriend at the time and looking at a menu, and they had a meal that was they had an entree that was just perfect, had all these different ingredients, but it had some black olives in it, and I don't like black olives. And she said, well, you'll love that. And I said, no, it's got black olives. I won't order that. And she said, just tell them, can you just leave the olives off? And I said, I can't do that. 33. And she said, yeah, you can. And I said, she'll hate me. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
She doesn't care.
Yeah.
I mean, it took me that long to try and figure out that you're allowed to say some things. Yeah. You're allowed to. Now I'm a total prick when I go to a restaurant.
So I hear.
Yeah, the word's out on me. I want this pasta with no pasta.
My name is Lyle Nelson. My name is Leslie Nielsen. Deep breath. My name is Liam Neeson, and I feel like I want to sing. I feel a bit nervous about sitting here with my old pal Conan O'Brien.
You should be nervous.
But very excited.
You should be nervous, Liam, because you know me. I've got a temper.
Yes.
And I know how to use these mitts.
Good
you
man.
know. So if you get out of line, it's going to get rough for you. You know that, don't you?
You'll come for me. You'll find me.
I have certain skills. What skills do you have in real life, by the way? It's one of the most famous lines in action movies. I've got a particular set of skills. What skills do you have in real life? What can you do?
I would love to be able to say I have a skill at fly fishing.
Mm-hmm.
I've been flying fishing for 23, 24 years.
Yeah.
And I'm competent.
Right. That's not as threatening to say to a kidnapper over the phone. Now listen to me. I don't have any money if that's what you're after. But I am a competent fly fisherman.
Catch and release. But you I will not release.
Come on, remake it that way. I promise you, people are going to absolutely love it. You know, it is great to see you. We've run into each other a couple of times over the years. We've talked, and we always have this crazy bond. I don't know if it's a genetic thing because I don't know. I found out since I met you that I'm 100% Irish after my people have been in this country since 1875. Still genetically. We just married each other and had more kids.
Sure.
And,
well, 1870, sorry, Conan, the history of the planet.
Yeah.
1875 was a nanosecond ago.
Yeah, just happened, yeah.
Yeah.
So I do think, I don't know what it is, but I know, first time I met you, you may not remember this, I've only been to one prize fight in my life, one boxing match, and someone took me, I'd never been to one before, and I stood up and you came over and said, "Oh, hello, Conan, let's go get a pint," because it was in between bouts. And I thought, oh, this is fantastic. Liam Neeson is inviting me for a pint. And what
was the main event?
I mean, this is how bad I am. I don't remember. I remember people were hitting each other. That's how, I don't follow the sport. Someone invited me.
Right.
And I thought, these guys seem angry. No, they're supposed to be doing this. We're supposed to be hitting each other. I don't remember what it was, but we went and we got a pint together, and I thought, this is living, having a pint with Liam Neeson. This is about as cool as it gets. And it was a great time. You were very nice to me, and then we've run into each other every now and then. I know my people are all from the South,
yes,
by the coast, and I know that you're a northern fella.
Northern Ireland, a little town called Ballymena.
Yeah,
30 miles northwest of Belfast. But my mother was born and bred Waterford in the Irish Republic.
Waterford by the sea?
Yes.
That's where my people are from.
Get away.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. I will not get away. I am here to stay. We are from Waterford and on my father's side.
Yes.
So you and I are related. We know that.
We have to be.
Yeah. And I remembered first time I went back to Ireland, I stopped somewhere that I was told was Waterford, and I get out of the car, and they say you're supposed to kiss the ground. So I thought, okay, I'll kiss the ground. And as I'm kissing the ground, someone went by and said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm from Waterford." They went, "This isn't Waterford." Spitting out soil. They said it's 30 miles that way, you ass. So yeah, but it's funny because there is something, I don't know what it is, when there's something in the blood where when I meet other people who are Irish, even though I've not grown up in that country, and you could say I'm not really Irish because I'm, third generation or fourth generation in this country, I do right away. Yeah. Like every cell in my body says, this is the air I'm supposed to be breathing.
Sure.
I like that it's raining out.
Yes. Rain.
Yes, everyone's depressed. Yes. People aren't taking care of themselves. This is the way I'm meant to live, not in Southern California, which is a terrible, terrible mistake. Yeah.
But I find, Conan, I'm born and bred in Ballymena, Catholic.
Oh, boy.
Because everybody always asks.
Yeah.
But when I came out to the States, 1988, I'm an American citizen, very proud one too, and Irish citizen. But everybody I'd meet wanted to tell me they had a connection with either Ireland or Scotland.
Yeah.
I was dying for someone to say, I'm an American.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They always wanted to make a connection.
Yeah.
It made me think, okay, there was 1.5 million during the potato famine in Ireland.
Sure.
1845, 1852. Came out here.
Right.
In coffin boats, they were known as coffin ships, And I was like, of course, 1845. That was a nanosecond ago,
Yeah.
2 seconds ago.
But it's also, I've always got embarrassed on St. Patrick's Day here in the States because people that were 1/18th Irish paint the Irish flag on their face, get shit-faced, throw up on Fifth Avenue, and kiss everyone they see after throwing up. I'm Irish. And you're like, what? When did you? How Irish are you? My father's uncles, brothers, sisters, mothers. Because your last name's Armenian. Fuck you. I'm Irish. And I think, well, you just wanted to get drunk. And then I find out that in Ireland on St. Patrick's Day, they people go to mass.
They go to mass. Yeah.
No one's painting their face.
I know.
No one's celebrating this insanity. So you're raised Catholic. So we both had that because I was raised very Catholic. And did you do...
Were you an altar boy?
I was not an altar boy. They found out early on this kid can read and he's good at speaking, so we'll make him a lectern, which means I'll read the passages when they need someone to read a passage. Okay. So I got a speaking part, which was kind of nice. Yeah. I looked at the altar boys and I thought, I like that outfit. And I want that smoky thing. I want to toss that smoky thing around.
That's the thurible, Conan.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Here in America,
the next altar boy.
And here in America, we call it the smoky thing. And if you're going to be a citizen of this country, you need to learn that. So communion, the whole thing. I found confession. I found confession terrifying. I would always freeze up when I would go into the confessional because I wouldn't know. I didn't want to admit to anything real, and I would freeze up. So I'd make things up that no kid would do. I'd say, I embezzled a check. You embezzled from I put funds in an offshore account and didn't declare it. How old are you? I'm 7. I coveted my neighbor's wife. What? Did you? Not really. I just would freeze up. Did you find that frightening?
I did, especially the last confession I ever went to, officially a confessional. And I think I wasn't 16, I was 15, I don't know, I was still boxing. And it was a great event when you had a missionary visiting from Africa or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'd be there for a week and you'd go to mass every night. And as an older boy, I'd be serving mass. But to hear your confession from him, it was like a big deal. Mm-hmm. So I remember going 15 years of age, and it was before mass, and there were lots of old women just outside the confessional, kneeling down, saying their prayers. And I went into this guy, and he's used to being in Africa, Congo, wherever, shouting his lungs out. So we started, and I had learned how to pleasure myself at home under the sheets, right?
Yeah, sure.
And I looked up the appropriate word. I remember this well. Masturbation. Okay, that seems harmless enough. I'll say that. That's me for argued with my mom. Yeah, my sister and I got into a fight, and I masturbated. You what? This guy literally.
Oh my God.
I mean, he almost said things like, the grass will grow out of the palm of your hand before you're 21. Stop that evil practice. He's shouting this. And I'm immediately thinking, I have to leave this. And there's all these old women praying outside.
Who can hear everything.
Who can hear everything, especially him. And I left, and my dick was that size.
It just shrinks up inside you. Yeah.
And that was the last time I ever went to get
I think that'll do it. Yeah. I think that'll do it.
Oh, that's my God. I wasn't having it. And I'm all proud of myself. I haven't learned this word, you know?
Well, I'm glad I never masturbated. That's all I'll say. You have staked out so many areas. You've done so much great work, but you've also been, once you're in a Star Wars film, you're part of that whole lore. Do you have Star Wars fans coming up to you all the time?
Not all the time. It is a cult.
It is, yeah.
There's so many movies and spin-offs now, I think. No, you're diluting the whole thing. I think that's my personal thing. And but yeah, occasionally, you see, there's kids after the Star Wars autograph, and I don't want to give autographs. We're in an airport. oh, it's not the kid, it's the grandfather. There he is. Or the dad, horn-rimmed glasses and a beard.
Yeah.
And they become 11-year-olds,
Yeah. Did you enjoy, because I know that you and McGregor got to use the lightsabers. Did you have fun with those?
We did. The first time we actually had to pull the lightsaber, and there's only a handle.
Right, there's a handle, and they add the effect later.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit of aluminum tube with green tape. Mine was green because I'm Irish Jedi. And Ewan's was red or something.
Yeah.
So the first time we got to pull them, to start a little fight, we both automatically went, and action.
Wait, you were doing that with your mouth?
I know. George said, let's cut there. Boys, we can add that in later. Don't worry about it. Yeah, of course, we knew that. Twat.
That's hilarious. I wish they had left that in. Wouldn't that be so great? You two just spitting at each other. God, that would be so funny looking. That would be fantastic.
I had this lovely makeup and hair lady, and Scottish.
Mm-hmm.
And I was supposed to be doing a scene with this little flying sort of monster that was this kid that would eventually be Darth Vader. He's 9 years of age.
Sure.
It was a big, long scene with this flying things. No, what do you want? That was all this sort of stuff. And I didn't know what this thing was going to look like. So I'm acting to a guy with a stick and an orange or a green tennis ball stuck in the top that's going to be eventually this flying little monster.
Right.
And so I'm in the makeup, so I got my wig on, my beard and all that stuff. And she says, oh, Liam, makeup lady says, I did see, a mock-up of the wee monster. You could be a monkey smoking a pipe. No one's going to be looking at you.
Isn't that nice to hear just before you go out?
Before you do. And I had a little lines to say on this thing, to this tennis ball, And right enough, and you see the scene, it's like, oh, wow, that's amazing. What are you doing here, Jedi?
I'll show you. You idiot. You don't need to make the sound with your mouth. It's, it's incredible to me that you've, had a very distinguished career. You've done a lot of great work. You're a terrific actor. And then this is the way it goes. Eventually in this business, you are acting to a green tennis ball.
Yeah.
And because that's more and more, that's what the work is. And it's just, I don't know about you, but there are so many times, particularly in my profession, my career, my weird corner of it, where I find myself doing these things over the many years. And I think, I step outside my body and go, what the hell are you doing? You're a complete fool. What is it? You're a total ass. But I think we're in show business ultimately.
Yeah.
So even something as, important and popular as a Star Wars film, you're there and there's a tennis ball. Yeah. And there must be some part of you that steps outside of you. Well, I did theater.
I know. I know. Yeah, there's that. But what you've done, Conan, to me, that would be a nightmare for me. Getting up as Conan O'Brien or Liam Neeson in front of an audience and having to entertain them. That's a nightmare. The thought of it, I'm not a comedian, right? Like that. I mean, you are. You've done this stuff. It's like, fuck, how did they do that?
Well, the trick is sometimes it's not good. That's what I've always said. Yeah. So I said the trick is you go out and you try, but I don't know. I know that I love it. I love being in front of people, and I really enjoy it, but I get very intense before I go out and do it. Right. And I was telling you just before I went on, just last night, I did something with Paul McCartney, about 800 people, I think, in the crowd, and had the time of my life out there on stage. But beforehand, waiting backstage, standing next to that guy.
Yeah.
And I had to go out first and get the crowd going and then bring him out.
Right.
Things get very focused in my brain. And I still, after all these years, I get kind of intense because I think you have to get that way before you go out.
Yeah.
If you just breeze on out there, it's not going to be any good.
Yeah. I remember, just apropos of what we're talking about, I remember doing a play, a Brian Friel play, a new play then. It was called Aristocrats in the Belfast Theatre Festival. I'm talking 1978, something like that. And I had taken over the part from a wonderful Irish actor called Stephen Ray.
Oh, yeah.
And I had learned the part in 2 weeks. And it was a main part, you know. We played it in Dublin for 2 weeks. Then we had a week off while the company moved up to Belfast as part of this festival. And on the opening night of the play Aristocrats, which I had already played for 2 weeks, Brian Friel's in the audience, the director's in the audience, various Northern Ireland dignitaries.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a kind of drunken spiel to say in the second act. And I dried for your audience. I forgot my words. And you could have heard a pin drop. And I remember seeing at the end of the passageway, the exit sign. And I thought, if I jump off the stage now, I can be out of this horrible feeling in maybe 6 seconds, and all this is over. I didn't, but it felt like an hour had passed, and I was still there looking at this exit sign, and the audience looking at me. I was supposed to be drunk, the character was, so I kind of staggered off stage, and the script girl, she wasn't following it at all. Anyway, when I got off stage, I remembered the line, and I staggered back on again and resumed the performance.
So it came back to you.
It came back to me, but I'll never forget that moment of absolute terrifying fear.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept thinking, I sometimes get obsessed with the World War I, the Battle of the Somme, things like that, because I had a neighbour on my street who served in the Somme twice, and the things he must have seen. I remember thinking those soldiers, before they got over the trenches, must have been feeling something similar to that. It was almost like a near-death experience for me. I'll never forget it.
It's funny. Have you ever figured out what happened in that moment? Why, because you knew it, you obviously knew it. Was there something in that moment? Was there a reason? Was it because everyone was in the audience? Because I find sometimes I don't like to know.
Yeah.
If someone important's in the crowd,
sure,
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I'd rather not know, because that gets in my head. And I used to find it difficult, even when family would come and they would say like, "Oh, my dad's here and he's going to sit in the crowd." That would make it more difficult for me, which shouldn't make a difference at all.
No, I know.
But it would make it more difficult, even though it's a TV show, it's going out to millions of homes. That's who's really seeing it, this audience, but I couldn't get past that.
Yeah. I think it is. It's partly knowing there's various people out there that you respect, And I just dropped conversation. I think I felt too confident. I had taken over the part in 2 weeks, which was fast to learn for me.
Yeah, very fast, yeah.
And I think it just caught up with me. That's what it was.
I think it's refreshing. I love it when people, especially people of your caliber, say, "I'm scared," and I still get scared. I find that to be, it's one of the things I like most about doing the podcast and having these conversations is I think it's good for people to hear that Liam Neeson still has moments, and we all do. We all do. We have these moments where we think, I don't know that I can do this.
Oh yeah, I still get them. Not that fear, but if I'm shooting a film and where there's a break and they're doing a lighting setup or something,
right?
And I'll look at the lines or whatever and think, how do I do this?
Yeah.
And I always say to myself, I think it was Robert Mitchum myself in some interview years ago. Says you walk in the room, you plant your feet, speak the truth. Or walk in the room, hit the marks, say the lines. What's the problem?
Yeah.
Something like that, something as simple as that will kind of get me back again.
It worked for Robert Mitchum, yeah, I'll say that.
And Jimmy Cagney. Cagney used to say that too. No stress, no strain. Walk in the room, plant your feet, speak the truth. That was his thing, yeah.
Well, Jimmy Cagney, I grew up, it's odd, but I think just because I came of age in the 1970s, so you'd think I'd be watching all this sophisticated stuff, but no, I watched Channel 38 or Channel 56 because they showed reruns and what did they show? They showed old movies. So I grew up on Jimmy Cagney, and I thought that was show business. Jimmy Cagney and Yankee Doodle Dandy, Angels with Dirty Faces, Public Enemy. I just thought that's what those were the movies I watched.
Sure.
And
me too.
Yeah, and I thought that's what it is. And of course, I wasn't watching Mean Streets. I didn't have access to those. They weren't showing those early Scorsese films. Yeah. That's what I should have been watching, but that's what that was my education, was the 1930s and 40s, Warner Brothers.
Yeah, me too. And we got a TV. I was in my teens, I think, when we got a TV, black and white, But I always remember every Sunday there was always a movie on, 2:00 in the afternoon. And it always seemed to be someone in a Mac with a trilby hat, pouring with rain.
Yeah, film noir.
Raymond Chandler, Alan Ladd or Mitchum or someone like that, So I feel I kind of grew up with those guys.
You're doing stand-up, and it feels to me, and this is something I've said a lot over the years, I've said the trick of this business isn't to figure out some new person that you should be who's funny or resonates with people. The trick is to figure out who you always were and then do that in a weird situation, which means lights, cameras, people around. And, here she is, Leslie Jones, music, you come out. That is a very unnatural environment. It's in some ways, very fake, but you got to crack. How can I be the person I was who killed at all those parties with your friends?
And that's what you do. You go into the search of Leslie is the one that's funny, not these people that you've been, like I would rip a room and someone would come up to me and go, oh my God, you're so fucking funny. Oh my God, you're one of the funniest people I've ever seen. And I would be like, I'm good. I'm okay. And they would be like, well, what the fuck? And I was like, well, I'm not Richard Pryor. Yeah. And they would be like, well, I don't fucking like Richard Pryor. I like you. Like, give yourself some love. Like, because I like you. I've never seen Richard, so I just saw you. And I had to stop myself from doing that. I had to go, okay, so it's you up here telling these jokes. It's you writing these jokes. So it's you.
Also, adulation doesn't get you anywhere.
Right.
So if you, I spent so many years, thinking I have no right to even be in the same room as all these incredibly funny people that I admire. That doesn't take you anywhere. That leaves you cold.
Yep.
They're, sure, they're great, but it's isolating and it cuts the creative process off. And in a way, you have to figure out, okay, yes, they're great, they're amazing, but I got to put that away right now and figure out who I am. And if someone likes that, great. Maybe we can get something going.
And it's much what, like, it's just the same thing. It was like Kobe. Is Kobe as good as Michael? Well, Michael was Michael. Kobe was Kobe. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's in that same fact. Like I was just telling my friend, I was like, I wonder if we're going to have to start letting go of the Whitney Houstons and the Michael Jacksons and the Princes and the admiration for them so we can let room in for these new artists. I just went and saw Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. Like, that was the most incredible concert I've ever seen. And they are so talented, but I'm so scared no one's going to know that they're this talented until too late.
Right.
Like we got to give them some love. Right now they're creating great things. Yes, Prince was incredible. Yes, Michael Jackson was incredible. Yes, Whitney Houston was fucking incredible. But we got to start.
We got to support the people who are here now.
Who is incredible now? Like, who's incredible now? Like, 'cause if that's the case, then we go all the way back and say Marvin Gaye was the best singer ever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then we don't go anywhere. Yeah. We don't move on.
Exactly. And that's what's wrong with us. This whole world right now is that we're so absolutely frightened to move the fuck on.
Yeah.
We're so goddamn frightened. And it don't make no damn sense because if we don't move on, we are going to die.
What do you think we're frightened of?
We're frightened of change.
Yeah.
We don't understand that we've already been changing. If we hadn't changed, we would all be dead from dysentery. Mm-hmm. Do you get what the fuck I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing to me how we're not believing science, how we're not believing our advancement. I was in the airport. And we were in this little trolley that takes you around the airport, and it's fucking brick wall. I was like, we can build this shit, but we don't believe in vaccines.
Yeah.
Make it make fucking sense.
Right.
And for us to now just all of a sudden, a profession that we fucking hold so high, we don't even believe the doctors no more.
Right.
What the fuck is wrong with us? What the fuck is wrong with us? And I feel like social media has been a blessing and a curse in that, because they've given everybody a platform.
Yes.
People who, and I love you people, but some of y'all don't need to talk. I love you to death, but some of y'all need to keep your fucking opinion in your goddamn kitchen.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes people say, don't say that shit out loud. Some of y'all need to put that on your fucking door and just keep your shit to yourself, son. There's a reason that we don't say everything on our mind.
Yeah.
There's a reason that you have censors. There's a reason.
You know, the idea initially when social media first came along is this is going to bring us all together. And then the great irony is that everybody's completely isolated, because if I don't like, you know, Leslie, if I don't like your opinion or I don't like what you're saying, I never have to see you or hear you, because I can modify everything in my life
to block
so that
me
I
out.
only see, and I've tried. No.
And you'll never block me out.
I try, and you just keep showing up in a new medium.
Fucking show up.
But it is true.
She wasn't even invited on this podcast.
I know.
She just showed up.
You weren't supposed to be
up.
here today. You just came crashing through the door. You just punched Henry Winkler and came running in.
I love punching him too.
But no, it is so crazy to me that everyone can just take a bath in their own opinions and their own ideas and never be challenged.
And never be checked.
Yeah.
That's accountability is just what everyone needs to learn, accountability. Even down to driving. Like I was driving the other day and, you know, Melrose is fucked up because of the construction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everybody's trying to get along. Everybody's like, okay, we're going to make fucking do with this. One motherfucker that needs to pull over to the side and fucking back up in the middle of the fucking traffic. But no one says anything. No one's bumping their horns. No one's saying, motherfucker. No police there checking. So you're going to do what the fuck you want.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going on now.
Yeah.
No one's getting checked because everybody's so sensitive. No one knows how to say, sit your motherfucking ass down because, oh, we're not supposed to say that. Yes, you are. It's a thing that's going on now where people are not falling down. You need to fall down so you can get back up. Mm-hmm. People are not scratching their knee. I want to scratch everybody's knee. Do you get what I'm saying?
You mean you think people need to
fucking hurt?
Yeah.
You need to. People have this thing right now where, oh, you old people, y'all glamorize suffering. No, bitch ass motherfuckers. We glamorize being strong. We glamorize learning a fucking lesson. We glamorize, hey, if you make a fucking mistake, you made a mistake, get your ass up and fucking either fix it or keep it moving.
Right.
We don't learn, oh, we made a mistake. Everybody hug each other. No. You fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up. Tell somebody they fucked up. You're wrong. That's wrong. That's bad.
You know, it's interesting. You just said, I've noticed this recently, nobody says anymore, all right, I was wrong. I never hear that. And you used to have to hear it because the analysis would come out, the election would be over, the results would come in, and someone would go, well, okay, I was wrong. I thought I was going to win, but I didn't. Now, people that run for office say, if I didn't win, it's because it was fixed. But if I do win, then it was still kind of fixed, but I still won anyway.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, and so I think you're right. I'm in my life, in my personal life, when I walk around, if anybody says, you know what, I made a mistake and I'm sorry, I think that person's a genius. Like I have so much respect for it, and it completely changes the way I see them and the way I feel about them.
Even if a motherfucker say, my bad, yo. Yeah. I give messages, man, my bad, yo. I people who project, you know, it's a lot of projection. We have passive aggressive is the new thing now, you know?
Yeah.
Read between the lines. I'm saying what the fuck I really mean, but I'm not saying what I really mean.
Right.
You know, and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's like in other words, fake it till you make it is making shit float. Do you know what I'm saying? Back in the day when you used to say, I fake it till I make it, that means that I'm going to fake it until I really actually learn what the fuck I'm going to do. Now it means I'm just going to fake it all the way to the top.
The other thing that you do so well is you mix it up with people. Your crowd work, you mixing it up with people is
my favorite thing in the world.
So funny, and
it's my favorite thing in the world.
There's so often I see people that do it, and it's like, well, it's okay, but it just feels like it's packing peanuts. It's just filler. It's not really getting us anything. Mm-hmm. You really go on the attack.
It's not even an attack. It's a story that I see. When I look at a person, I make up a whole thing, and it's so fun to explore that. My main thing when I'm doing crowd work is to make the person that I'm talking about laugh just as hard as everybody else in the room. Right. So I really do it with joy. I never want anyone to feel like they're feeling fucked up.
But you know what? That's a lot like, one of the greatest of all time at this, if not the greatest, was Don Rickles. That's what he achieved too. He would go in, he would be tearing into someone, but the person would be dying laughing and could feel his good intent. He would have been horrified if he thought that he really did hurt someone's feelings, because he was a very sensitive person. Yes. And I think you're the same way. When I say attack, I mean the energy. I meant the energy and intensity with which you go at it, which is full-throated. I'm going to go after this person right now, but do it in a way that there's a lot of love in it.
It's so fun.
And it's really funny.
It's fun for me because I love making up shit. I love looking at the person and trying to figure out what's going on in their life and what I might think that's going on in their life. It be for me. The crowd work is for me. Like, I'm doing the jokes for y'all. The crowd work is for me because I like to meet new people. I like to talk about people. I like to make people laugh at themselves. I really love making people laugh at themselves because that is the best laugh ever, because you'll laugh at that even when no one's around. You'll go, that shit was funny what she said about me. God damn it. I'm going to use that myself. Like, you'll use it yourself. Like, there's nothing better than when people come back on my Instagram and be like, oh my God, I just got roasted by Leslie. Oh my God, I'm the so-and-so girl. It's so fun. Yeah. I love shit like that. I remember David Spade came into a Comedy Store and I was just on stage just going, just like from table to table, just going. And he was like, what the fuck? So the best way that I can describe how good I got at crowd work was Simply Marvelous. I don't know if you know Simply Marvelous. She was in a lot of black movies.
I don't know Simply Marvelous.
Yeah, she was in one of the Friday movies as John Witherspoon's wife. That's the only thing I can think of right now. But she was a fucking, like, she would go from table to table. She taught me a little bit. But JB Smoove gave me the best advice about crowd work. He says that, say the first thing that comes to your mind, because it's usually from God.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, every time I've done that, it has destroyed the room. Like, destroyed the room.
It's crazy that you said that, because I've a long time ago noticed if something pops into my head and I just say it, 99.9% of the time it goes well. If I stop myself and think a little more,
you fuck it up.
I fuck it up.
You fuck it up. Let me tell you why. Because you have two people in your head. You have the joke writer, and then you have the performer.
Yeah.
Okay. The performer wants the performance to go right, but the joke writer wants you to tell the joke. Always listen to the joke writer. The performer don't know what the fuck they're doing. The performer does what the joke writer does. It's just that it's
I have a third person in there, the pervert.
Yeah. Well, we all have that person. We have the third person.
Well, he's in there.
He sits back and
this is a cry for help.
He sits back and watch all the other shit. That's the pervert.
I'm watching the other two and like,
this is great. When they argue, oh my God, it turns me on. I literally just did that the other day on stage. There's this line that I've been using. I like to use the real story. Whenever I'm doing a joke, I like to tell the real story because usually the real story is hella funny. But I thought of an alt to this line. So while I'm telling the joke writer and the performer is completely fighting in my head. Complete like, yo, say this line. Say this fucking line. I'm telling you right now, that's just gonna kill. Then the performer is like, no, that's not what happened. The real thing that happened is actually funny. But it's like, no, fuck this. This is funny.
Right.
This will make this joke better. Just fucking do it. You never listen to me. Listen to me now. and that the joke writer won. I did the alt. Fucking kill.
Yeah.
But then the performer standing on the side going, well, that's not the real story. So what's going to happen when I want to do the real story? Because that shit is funny too. So what the fuck?
Well, so the answer here is you're never completely happy. If you're going to work in comedy, I don't care how hard you kill, how well things go.
You will never think you're funny.
You will always leave feeling a little conflicted, a little it could have gone differently. You know what? You are a very busy person, and I promised I would get you out of here because you have a lot going on.
We've been talking that long.
But you know what? Yeah, we have. But this has been a delight. I love you. You're fantastic.
Thank you.
You are welcome here anytime. If you ever want me to sneak by your apartment, no.
Wow. You know how he keeps offering himself to me.
Your podcast.
You know, I do have a pool that's heated.
I like a heated pool. No, your podcast, The Fuckery. I want to make sure I get the word out on The Fuckery.
Fuckery, yes.
I could listen to you all day, and I will. And I'm so glad that you're going to do this. This is such a great format for you.
It's so good,
It's perfect for you, and people are going to laugh, but they're also going to be improved by listening to you.
Absolutely. It's so fun. It's the full, unfiltered version of me.
Yeah. Well, I think that's always you. Yeah, finally.
Has there ever been
Finally unfiltered.
Yeah.
Shit.
All right, you take care, Leslie. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Conan. Wait a minute. Do you want to hear about our beef?
Yeah, well, we got beef, I'm told.
Okay, so I'm trying to remember when this was. Yes. Okay, when I had to host, I think it was the BET Awards. Remember I had to come and do Conan O'Brien?
Had to. Got to.
Whatever.
Let's do another take of that. What do you mean I had to go do Conan O'Brien?
I had to. They put that shit on the press. I was like, motherfucker. The fuck am
That's
I
what my
going?
wife says. My wife says I had to do Conan O'Brien.
I was like,
for Christ's
I was
sake.
like, what the fuck am I gonna talk to this motherfucker about, man? But I wanted to do it because I was like, kind of, all the white people like him. I was like, he seems really funny. Now, every time I saw you, you was really funny. I was like, I didn't know you was as tall as you was too. And I was like, damn, this guy's tall. But I don't know who the producer was. I don't know if y'all friends, but he was so fucking weird. And I don't know who you talked to. He was a weird motherfucker. I don't remember this guy, but I just remember being him making me just not uncomfortable. But
you mean the guy that talks to you before the show?
I wanted to beat him up. I wanted
describe him physically.
He looks like John Schaefer. He bald head, had glasses. I just remember him being nervous. I think he had a condition.
I don't think he worked on our show.
I think he had a condition or something.
I think he talked to someone in the hallway who said,
"No,
let's go over your notes for Conan."
Yeah, he was like,
and then he ran down the hall
and insisting too. He was insisting on stuff, and I was like, "No, don't talk about that. Don't talk about that."
Yeah.
And then he said, "Well, he's like, you have a boyfriend." And I was like, "No, we were just starting to talk to each other."
Sure, yeah.
So I was like, "No, don't mention that at all," because he was already squeamish about dating me anyway. So I was like, "No, don't mention that." And what's the fucking first thing that you said? You asked about a boyfriend, and then I'm the type of person that doesn't lie. I really don't lie. It's very hard.
Right.
So I was like, "Oh, we kind of." And I think I said something like, "Oh, I think I'm kind of mad at him," or something like that. Something I said, but I was like in my head trying to answer you and like, what the fuck? Why did you fucking ask me that? So the next day, this motherfucker sends me, because after that happened, every news thing picked up.
Oh.
Leslie Jones is dating someone. This motherfucker sends every article that mentions him to my phone.
Damn.
And he was like, and especially sent the clip from your fucking show. And I was like, he sends me the clip, but my people was like, he's a bitch. He's a bitch. The fact that he sent you articles, that means that motherfucker went and looked for these. That's bitch shit. Yeah. So I shouldn't have been with him anyway.
Yeah, I did you a favor, first of all.
You did,
no,
but,
I will say this.
Fuck off because you fucked it up.
No, I will say this, Leslie. I never, ever, if I knew that someone didn't want to talk about something, I never did. Because that would really upset me, and it upsets me to know that seriously, I don't like that. I don't like that. And
it's okay because like you said, you did do me a favor.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I don't like that. I don't like that you were asked something that you didn't want to be asked, because that's not.
Well, I played it off really well.
I'm sure you did.
Don't feel bad.
I'm sure you did.
Don't feel bad. The guy's gone.
Well,
and he should have been.
Maybe I'd like to hang out with him.
No, fuck that. I bought him a first class ticket to come out and he didn't show up.
Oh,
fuck that guy.
All right. Well, I did the right thing then.
You did. He was just.
I got to figure out who this producer is.
I know.
You're not supposed to do that. If someone says I don't want to talk about something, you're not supposed to do it.
And he was really forceful. Like he was. I just remember thinking this guy. He said he worked with you for a long ass time. He was the guy. I just remember him glasses, and I remember him having a condition because he told me about his condition.
A condition? And he's telling you about his condition?
Yeah, he was saying
sure this
something
wasn't
about
a ghost.
No, he was saying.
What kind of show are we running?
He said that he was, because I was like, are you like ADHD or something? And he was like, he said something that he had, and I was like, yeah, that's
what? I gotta say, what kind of show am I running?
Yeah.
Where I say, hey, we need a segment producer to talk to Leslie Jones. Who have we got? I'll do it, boss. All right, here's what you got to do. First of all, make sure that if she's uncomfortable with something, that it's the first thing out of my mouth. Okay, got it. Second of all, and this is important, do you have eczema? Yeah, I have eczema. Good. Make sure you mention it to her.
What the fuck is that all about? I don't know who. I just remember thinking, this fucking guy, man. But he said he had been with the show forever. He was a big fan of mine. I just remember him being short, bald head, glasses. He looked like John Schaefer. Like,
I'm going to take care of this. I'm just going to say some shit's going to go down now.
You're going to get a finger in a box on your doorstep.
There's going to be a hawk's head on your lawn.
I should have never mentioned this guy. Poor guy.
Oh. Well, anyway.
Oh, my God. That's so fucking funny.
I know that you got into stand-up because friends of yours, this was not the plan.
No.
This was not the plan for you.
I don't think I really had a real plan, Conan. I think
but those are my favorite people didn't have a real plan.
Listen, when I started college, first of all, you got to know, I got in college. I didn't realize that until the first semester. I was like, oh, these motherfuckers let me in. That's fucking hilarious. And then they was like, oh, you know, you got to pick a major. Major? What's that? It's like, what do you want to be? Oh, okay. All right, let's play. All right. So
that's how as serious as you should take that question.
That's
Because
right.
who knows at 18?
Yeah, and I was like, okay, so I want to be a lawyer. Okay, that lasted a week.
Right.
I got all those fucking books, went to one class, and this motherfucker was like 25 cases a day you have to have read and analyzed. And I was like, you can go fuck yourself.
Right.
I do not care about the justice system at all, right? And I was like, okay, well, I'm good at math. I'm going to be a computer scientist. Mm-hmm. Microeconomics looked at me and said, you bitch. Skip this class. So after first class, I went up to the professor and I was like, yeah, I'm going to need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I know, I can tell. Then I was like, okay.
I had you on the get the fuck out of here list.
On the get the fuck out of here list. Literally, you just asked me why there's no plus and minuses in microeconomics. Yeah, bitch, where's the timetables? This is some bullshit. Then I was like, okay, so I'm going to be an architect. Oh, you got to know how to draw. Nope. Just too many fucking things. No. Then I was like, okay, what do I like to do? I like music. Okay. Yeah. So I said, okay, I'm going to be a DJ. So the school would let me do the DJ and stuff. So for some reason, for a fluke, I took a communications class because I was like, whatever. First day in that class, they made us get up and see if we could talk in front of class. I talked for like 30 minutes. And the lady came over to me. She was like, you don't have to take this class. She was like, I'm going to go ahead and pass you. She's like, you need to go and start taking more classes like this. Because, you know, she's like, something's there. Right. You know, I was so at first I was like,
good for her though.
I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna be a good DJ or something, or I'm gonna be like an actress or something, or like I never thought comedian. All this time I'm making people laugh like crazy, but I never thought comedian. I always thought, oh, comedian is like Richard Pryor, Whoopi Goldberg, Eddie Murphy. I'm not that, you know. Right. Maybe I'll be an actress and I'll get to play Whoopi one day in a movie. That's as far as I would go. I don't know. None of it was really. I don't know, like grabbing on. I would do these little things, but I didn't notice that I was at parties. People were inviting me to parties because I was funny as fuck, and I was just, you know. So I got my scholarship changed over to Colorado State. My coach left Chapman and then went to Colorado State and took me with him. But he didn't tell me that it was going to be a red shirt year. I didn't know what red shirt was until I got there, and I was like, oh, I have to practice, but I can't fucking play the game. Fuck this, like. I don't want to do this. Right. And I was hanging out with these girls, and this girl signed me up for a contest. She signed me up for a comedy contest on the campus, funniest person on campus. And she came in one day and she was like, well, we were walking through the thing and she saw the sign and she was like, you should sign up for that. And I was like, no, what the fuck is wrong with you? She's like, you're so fucking funny, bitch. You're so funny. I was like, bitch, you don't know what funny is. Because again, I'm thinking Richard Pryor, right? Whoopi Goldberg, Eddie Murphy. You don't know what funny is. I'm okay, right? She was like, she came to my apartment like 2 days later and she was like, yo, I signed you up for that contest. And I was like, bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I'm not going to do that. I was mad at her, but I wasn't angry. And then I was just like, well, you think I can do it? And she was like, bitch, you are funny. Just get up there and start talking. So I was like, okay. So I went to this contest, and you know how comedians are that hear about a contest.
Yeah.
So all the comics from Denver came down to Fort Collins and tried to intimidate us. This is the first thing I learned, but they don't know that, I'm from a fucking hood where gangsters, pimps, hoes, crackheads, I done seen everything. So you're not gonna pull one over on me, but I could see they were intimidating the other comics. So I just went up and just started talking about my family and won the contest. But I'm gonna tell you, the process of walking on that stage and touching the mic was absolutely religious.
Yeah.
I remember touching the mic and thinking, I have been doing this all my life already.
Yep.
It literally felt like something that was like it had been put on me. It was a perfect shirt. I don't know if that's the same experience, but I just remember speaking into the mic going, oh, I'm gonna be doing this for the rest of my life.
Well, here's what I think what I can relate to, and which I know to be true, is when I was growing up, I made people around me, I made my family laugh. I made my brothers and sisters laugh. Big family. I make kids in the neighborhood laugh. I make kids at school laugh. That was my secret weapon, and it got around that I was really funny. I didn't think that counted. I thought that just called, you're funny with your friends. If someone had ever said to me, you should be funny professionally, I'd say, well, no. Just like what you said. I'd say, no, funny people, that's something else. Like professional comedians, professional talk show hosts, anyone who's in front of people and they're paying money to see them and they're making them laugh. That's something very different. I don't know what that is, and I'm 1,000 million miles away from that.
Yep.
That is what I thought. And then when I started getting up in front of people and getting laughs, it felt exactly the same way, like I was a duck being put into water for the first time and going, wait, this feels right. This feels really good.
It feels so right.
But it still took years.
Oh,
years and years to just get comfortable with it.
I didn't make it till I was 47. I didn't make it till I was 47. I think I was comfortable with doing comedy. But, when you first start comedy, and this is what I tell New Jacks, just first of all, real comics, we hate when people come up to us and ask, hey, what advice do you have for new comics? Because the first thing I'm going to say is quit.
Yeah.
Because if you got to ask right now, then you're not going to hang in there to do what you have to do. But it still took years for me to learn how to actually perform.
Yeah.
Until I saw Jamie Foxx, I was just wailing out there. I didn't know that you have to write jokes that fit you. You don't just write jokes. You know what I'm saying? So I was going up there saying shit that did not, people were like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I would get booed. I would just get scratched off by the DJ. I saw Jamie Foxx one night and he performed and I was like, oh my God, that's okay. That's the form of comedy. That's what I want to do. Okay, so how? Because I didn't think anyone could be funnier than Richard Pryor or Eddie Murphy or Whoopi Goldberg. Like I said, I had put them in that. And to see someone perform in that same genre of I was like, oh, mannerisms and shit. I was like, oh, this is it. Oh, shit. I remember getting my friend to talk to his friend so I can talk to him. And but he was like, you don't have shit to talk about. You're a youngster. I was like 18. He was like, go get fucked. Go fuck someone. Go get your heart broke. Go break some hearts. Go get fired. Go get hired. Just go and live life so you can have some material. And I just knew I had that wanting in me. And I was more scared of not going up than going up.
Yeah.
So it was that, but I knew that I didn't want to do it until I was good at it. So that's what I did. I went 6 years and lived life, had crazy times, and then came back in 93 and just been doing it ever since. Hi, my name is Leslie Jones, and I could give a shit if I was Conan's friend. Like a flying fuck. Like 2 shits and a dog, son.
Okay. Finally,
First time.
someone has spoken the truth. Finally, someone has thrown off all pretense and said exactly how they felt.
Like what?
Exactly.
What is this?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
why is this a
You've
question?
given voice to all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
You just
I don't know why people won't don't say it to your face comes. I'm not afraid of you.
You know what? You know what the thing is? After this, they will. After this, everybody.
I've given them the courage.
No matter who I talk to, and even, like anybody, politicians are going to be like, I don't give a flying fuck. Please, Mrs. Obama. No, why would I fucking care? Please.
Why? Like, L.
Please, Nobel Prize winner.
Malala.
Yeah, exactly. Please, Malala. Who would fucking give a flying dog's fuck?
Dog shit.
Yeah. How are you? You look amazing.
Thank you. I try.
I think
a
it's
lot of
effortless.
working out,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of that, a lot of, washing my face, brushing my teeth type thing.
Well, so great to have you here.
Thank
You're
you. It's so good
absolutely
to be here.
hilarious. It's wonderful to have you here. And I know you have your own podcast now coming out soon, right?
Yes, it's called The Fuckery.
Okay, well, we're not going to have that kind of language here. Oh, wait, we already have.
Yes,
I was
by
just going to
far.
say, well, then it's going to be a lot of bleeping going on.
Yeah.
son.
The Fuckery. That's the name of the podcast.
Fuckery, yes.
Tell us what it's all about, the idea of this
Well,
podcast.
it's really it's everybody's always wanting to talk to me or hear my opinion about something or hear me just conversate about or want to know what I think about things. And at one point I was going to maybe take over for Ellen, and it's just not a good idea. Just not a good idea to put me in the middle of the afternoon.
Right.
And I'm not always.
They call in the Army.
You know what I'm saying? Like
They call it National Guard.
Seriously, National Guard.
Yeah.
Straight guns to the head. And I was just like, it's too restrictive too. You can't do shit in it. You know that. So I was like, I want to be somewhere where I can say exactly what I want to say, how I want to say it, and not give a shit. And they was like, podcasts.
Yeah.
So me and my friend Lenny, we always have the greatest conversations, and we're just everybody that see us talk to, they was like, this has got to be on something. So we decided to do it.
Well, you're so great at, I've told you this before, I have friends of mine who rave all the time about your commentary that you do, whether it's at the Olympics or whether you're watching, the 2020 election is happening,
Right.
Someone's giving an interview and you're there sort of riffing off of what's happening, and it can be so funny and so raw, but also really funny.
Yeah, but I'm just saying what everybody's thinking.
Yeah.
I think I'm just brave enough to say what everyone is already actively thinking.
Right.
And I think I say it in a way to where what I try to do is I try not to be offensive, but try to be honest. And the way to not be offensive is to be honest.
Yeah.
So, when they were doing all the newscasts during the pandemic, I was like, I don't think these people realize what they room look like. Like, I know this is seriousness, but I cannot take this bitch serious when she got a picture of a dog fucking a frog. What the fuck is happening? Like, there was people in straight torture chambers having Zooms like wasn't shit going on. Hey, bitch, this is a secret room in your house. I don't think this is supposed to be behind you. What the fuck?
What's great was you're absolutely right. When the pandemic first hit and everybody jumped on Zoom, nobody cleaned up their background. Now, what happened, I want to say 4 or 5 months into the pandemic, suddenly everybody had the same books they had never read.
Never.
Behind them, a picture of a dog that wasn't theirs.
Or flowers or ugly ass blinds. People decided to go ahead and let people know what they're like.
Yeah.
Like this one bitch had it was a whole mystery staircase and shit. Bitch, where are you? Are you in a dungeon, bitch? What the fuck?
Do you need help?
I mean, some of them is like, and some of them would just not give no effort and be in front of a white wall, and it's like, bitch, are you hostage? Do we need to send somebody in to get you? Jesus. One girl was in the break room. I was like, listen, goddamn it, get your shit together. Get a fucking office. After I talked about her, they got her an office. Because I was like, she's not supposed to be in front of the Nest Cafe talking about what the fuck Trump is. This is not, I can't take this bitch serious. There's a Nest Cafe behind her.
Man.
I'm waiting for George Clooney to walk in this motherfucker.
I wanted to just to speak to the just the incredible endurance of your fan base and how loyal they are, and how it just has it grew and grew and grew, and then they've always been with you and they followed you the whole way. I mean, the shows, the number of people that you played to. You played one show in Russia to 1.6 million people. I believe it was a free show, and I think that was a mistake.
Well,
I think
it was.
You could have cleaned up.
I don't know if the money at that time was worth anything, but it was right in the wake of the perestroika and that transitional
it was a beautiful
stuff.
thing. I mean,
and it was negotiated between. I think it was Gorbachev, maybe Yeltsin was coming into power at the time, and it was negotiated between the students and the people running the uprisings and the demonstrations and the government in that period of transition, that part of what they wanted, the students wanted, was a rock and roll show.
Yeah.
And so AC/DC and Metallica were on tour in Western Europe that whole summer, and 2-3 weeks before the end of the tour, they want you to come to Russia and play. And at that time, I mean, this is just a couple of years after Reagan, Bush Sr. was president, and it was still, the evil Russians and all of that stuff, and they're going to, drop nuclear bombs on you next week. And I mean, there was all that crazy stuff. So going to Russia was like, holy shit, here we are in the Red Square, here we are. Yeah. Running around seeing, the sights and the Kremlin. And then we were there for maybe 3 days and then played that insane show. We weren't really prepared for what that was going to be, but we had the camera crew led by Wayne Isham and his cohorts, and they filmed it. And if you go to YouTube now, it is among the most surreal and extraordinary footage of Metallica ever, because like you're saying, it is Metallica, and whether it's 1 million people, 1.5 million, who knows what the real number is, but there are tens of thousands of Russian soldiers in uniform that are supposed to be protecting the audience, and they're as into the show and rocking along as all the kids are. There are Sikorsky helicopters flying right over the audience. I don't know if it's a scare tactic or where they're keeping people, whatever it is, but these giant Sikorsky helicopters hovering right over the audience look like people could just reach out and touch them. And it is, it's a real mindfuck of a concert to watch, I guess 30 years later. So if anybody out there listening, check it out on YouTube.
No,
it is really unusual.
To me, it's the power of, and I'm going to want to talk about how I love your origin story is so amazing, and your fans all know it, but I want to make sure my fans know your origin story because it is absolutely incredible. But to think that it started out two guys finding each other, putting ads in the paper.
Recycler.
Yeah, and so you and James Hetfield.
That's right.
And then what happens is you end up getting, you can unify all these people in Russia at a very delicate time. I mean, we could really use that today, obviously, but getting 1.6 million people to come to a concert, and I think a lot of them were chanting around. They know the lyrics, they know the words, they know the syncopation of all the songs, and it's because...
And it was all from bootleg tapes, because there was no record industry in the Eastern Europe at the time.
But the unifying power of that, the unifying power of, any kind of art form, but especially the music of Metallica just worldwide, is a very positive thing.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I'll tell you another version of that comes to mind. First is we've played down in Abu Dhabi and Dubai a couple, 2-3 times. Mm-hmm. And great place to come and play, primarily because the fans come in from Iran, they come in from Iraq, they come in from Saudi, they come in from Kuwait, they come in from Lebanon, they come in from Bahrain, they come in from Syria, they come in from all over the Middle East, and you're playing to 30, 40,000 kids. We've done it 2-3 times, and they all bring their flags, their national flags.
That's cool.
And the Iranians and the Iraqis and the Saudis and everybody else are sharing an experience together.
Right.
And in that arena, they all are completely united around the music, and kind of there's a brotherly feeling of all of us in this together, including the band members. And then outside of that arena, I don't need to to tell you guys, these countries not only don't like each other, but hate each other and fight wars over religion and territory and the rest of it. So it does speak to the power of music and what the possibilities are in a lot of places in the world. We've played in India, we've played in places like Indonesia, Malaysia.
You played Antarctica, didn't you?
We played Antarctica. Yes, there was, and it was by chance. It was not something that we set down. Well, in 2 years from now, let's check all the 7 continent boxes. It wasn't like that. We were playing somewhere, we were playing somewhere else, we were playing, and then we were 5 or 6 into it, and somebody said, "Well, hang on a second. If we're going to do this, then let's do it." And we got an offer from I think it was Coca-Cola. They were doing a contest for Latin America, and they invited us to come down and play for contest winners on a Chilean research base in Antarctica. And so we flew down, and we're on a talk about bring different nationalities together. We were on a Russian icebreaker on a Chilean, anchored off a Chilean research base, playing to Argentinian, Chilean, and Brazilian Coca-Cola contest winners in a space that was maybe twice of the room we're in.
Right.
And
we're in a small room, yeah.
It was a tent that was set up, and on top of that, everybody in the audience had headphones on, like we all do now, because it was silent disco style. Because part of the deal was we couldn't disturb the environment and the penguins and all the incredible wildlife down there. So the only thing you could hear in that tent were the acoustic drums and James's vocals, but all the amplifiers, everything that was amplified, the guitars, the bass, etc., were all going through these sort of boxes into everybody's headphones.
Oh my God.
So you put all those elements together, and that was one of the most unique 3 or 4 days ever. And on top of it, the band members and all our wonderful crew and all the contest winners were staying on that icebreaker together. So it was a real communal experience, and we all had our meals together. And if anybody wanted a beverage or post-show drink or whatever, we'd go down the bar.
Right.
And it was the 200 contest winners.
Yeah.
It was one of the best trips we've ever had.
And then one guy asked for a Pepsi, and he was thrown overboard.
Yeah, exactly. My name is Lars Ulrich, and I feel psyched about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Psyched is a good word. Psyched does not come up on the spell checks on your iPhones until you've put it in like 9,000 times. But psyched is a big word in my vocabulary.
I like that you broke the artificial intelligence of Apple to compliment me.
We do what we can. Keep Apple on their toes, not that they need it from us. But
first of all, not too long ago, I go to see. I'm like a lot of us. I'm friends with Jack White,
That's
so
right.
I go back. I'm backstage at a Jack White show, and there you are, and you're just there as a fan, and I'm there as a fan, and we got to chat a little bit, and it was just cool to see you out enjoying music.
Wherever Jack White is playing, if I'm in the same vicinity, I'm always there. I love Jack, have loved him. Obviously, going back to the White Stripe days, I think he personifies that sort of edgy rock and roll that's becoming less of a big thing these days. He's in the studio, he makes records impulsively, and it's just oozes a lot of the same elements of kind of danger and impulsivity and not quite knowing. One of my favorite things about him is that he never has a set list. He just makes it up as he goes along. And so I'm always watching, and, he's do this song, and then he'll yell back at the other guys in the band, and now we're going to do this. And then
they have to be on their toes.
Yeah.
They really have to be on their toes.
They don't know what he's going to do. And a word that comes to mind that a lot of my favorite artists embody this word, restless. I think that's the word that comes up with me. You can tell he's just fidgety, and he needs to go and I got to make something now, and I got to do this, and I got to do that. And so it was just nice to be backstage, and there was a lot of cool people back there.
Great. we live up in San Francisco, obviously, as you know, and when we come down to LA, it's always, oh my God, look at these backstages. There's so-and-so and there's so-and-so. It's always fun to run into other creative people down here. But Jack is really one of my maybe top 5 all-time musicians. I love him, and whether he's doing, his own stuff, whether he's doing the raconteurs, whether he's obviously back in the day with the White Stripes or whatever, he's just such a great artist, unpredictable artist. Always it's interesting to see where he goes. It's so inspiring. And on top of that, he's a really nice guy.
He is a nice guy.
Always welcomes you. We're in Nashville, a couple of years ago. We based out of Nashville for 2 weeks and played sort of the southeast of the States out of Nashville, and we were there for 2-3 weeks. And he just, come over to the house, let's go to dinner, come to Third Man. You go to his house and there's a bowling alley and you're hanging out, and hey, did you want to jam in the back in the studio? I mean, he's very abrasive, and I love that kind of energy.
Some of it sounds desperate to me. I'll be honest with you, Lars. Some of it, it sounds like Jack doesn't have enough to do. And Jack, if you're listening, and he's a friend, leave Lars alone, I think one night is fine, but then let's do this, let's do that. It gets sad,
I'll tell you, I know what you're saying, but I'm
going to get a text from Jack about this.
We can text him right now.
How soon did he call you after you gave him his number?
Well, I'll tell you what, and Jack, if you're hearing this, I love you and nothing but love. But for a guy who supposedly doesn't have a phone, he's a pretty engaged texter.
Yes.
So I'm not really quite sure how that works out.
I'm telling you, it's a sham.
Wife's phone, or whether it's just got a computer, that he texts from, whatever.
Also, he's so pro vinyl. He's got the every time I go to his house, all he does is play CDs. That's all he does. And I'll go like, hey, well, can we check out that vinyl record? And he's like, no, I'm not going to listen to that shit. He said, if you want real quality CDs, and then it's like, more Blue Oyster Cult.
Zune MP3.
Working downstairs, you and I have talked about this, but Mike Sweeney is working downstairs. And Mike Sweeney worked in the comedy clubs with you, and Mike Sweeney has been with me for almost 30 years, I think. Not working, he just hangs around. But he's a terrific, incredible writer. He's been with me forever. But he loves to talk about you in the clubs.
Oh, God.
And what you were like as a stand-up.
I was very young. I was a young man.
One of my favorite stories that he tells, and I don't want to mistell it, is that you apparently had a joke that you would do at the top of your set, and you would tell the other comics, if the crowd goes for this, I know that it's my crowd and I'll continue.
Yeah.
And then if they don't go for this, I'll know that it's not going to go well. And the joke was...
Oh, it was the two form?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did that. That was I did that on the Curb special.
Yep.
Yeah. No, basically I'd go up. I'd say...
Go out to a packed crowd, nightclub, comedy club.
I can't even do it. You're making me laugh.
Okay, sorry. A lot of pressure. I like this more than I like the joke, but
you seem like a. By the way, hey, you seem like a very good audience tonight. I'm wondering, may I use the two form with you people, because I feel very kind of close to you. I feel like I know you. Do you mind if I jump into the two form? And if I got laughs, I would continue.
Yeah.
I'd go. Caesar used the two form with Brutus even after Brutus stabbed him. He said to Brutus, I think at that point, if somebody's trying to kill you, you don't have to be that familiar with them.
Right.
Yeah. So I would throw that out there.
Right. And Sweeney said that the other comedians would all come out and they would watch because they were so fascinated to see what would happen. And their favorite thing was if the crowd didn't go for it. You became enraged. And you start berating them.
Oh, I guess you people didn't take Spanish or French in high school. There's a familiar two form in Spanish. It's usted if it's kind of formal. But if you're friends with a person, then you use the two form.
Imagine you're being yelled at because you and I have talked a little bit about, because I worked at Saturday Night Live. You had worked there earlier, and because your career fascinates me, it's a lot of. You're clearly this incredibly gifted, funny person, and it was trying to find, and you were very principled about doing things your way. I know at SNL, it wasn't a good fit for you because you had your sense of humor, the stuff that you thought was funny, and you had a hard time getting stuff on the air.
Yeah, I didn't get one. Oh, I got one sketch on at that wonderful 12:50 slot.
My favorite. That's the sweet spot.
Right.
12:50. Yeah, that's where I used to hang out. I love that.
Yes, I had one sketch on the whole year.
At one point, you just became angry and quit.
Yes,
and then famously showed up a couple of days later.
I pretended the whole thing never happened.
Which became a Seinfeld episode.
Exactly. Yeah. I was computing how much money I had. I cost myself enough money to live on for 2 years for me. And I go, oh boy, what an idiot! That was so stupid. Because I had a hissy fit. I went up to Dick Ebersol and I said, "This show stinks." This is right before air. This is like week number 6, and I had been cut every week. And I went up to him, and he had the headphones on, the headset on, and I went, "This show stinks. It's a piece of shit. I'm done. I'm done here."
And then you just came back.
I just came
back. Now, maybe because he had the headset on, he couldn't hear you.
Maybe, yeah. I came back. And pretended it never happened. Yeah. And it worked.
I think you did that a few times, Sona.
I'm sure I did.
I think there was a couple, because Sona is my assistant, and there were several times where I think you told me to fuck off.
I've stormed off a lot.
Stormed off.
Came
and
back
then
meekly.
I'd come in the next day and you'd be eating Zanku chicken at your desk and watching The Bachelor.
Yeah, and you completely just didn't even mention my outburst.
Yeah, what are you
I'm surprised it didn't really catch on throughout the country. That after I told the story.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a way I could tell off my boss and then come back and keep my job.
Right.
Yeah.
I would think because of the shows you've worked on or created, Seinfeld and then Curb, those are shows where everybody thinks they have a good episode. Anybody can come up to you and say, when you're at the gas station and you go to clean, but there's no towel there to wipe off the squeegee. Yeah. And I think that's a thing that happens to everybody. And shouldn't that happen to Larry? Yeah. And you have to, what do you do? Because you must get that constantly.
I go, let me stop you right there.
I'd like you to meet the pitch sheriff.
Yes.
There should be a pitch sheriff, too.
Yeah. I go, let me stop you right there. I'm not, the Writers Guild forbids me to hear ideas from other people. So I'm sorry. I'm sure it's a great idea, but I can't hear it.
Right.
Yeah.
And does that work? That doesn't work.
Yeah, no, it works.
Okay.
It's pretty good. What doesn't work are the pictures, because, you're in the street. Hey, there's a fan wanting to take a picture. And so I thought, I tried something new. And I said, you know what? I can't take pictures outside.
Wait, what?
What's like a vampire?
Yeah.
I said, there's people, I can't take pictures outside. And then when I was inside, I would say to people, you know what? I can't take pictures inside.
And how's that working for you?
It started out okay, and then I sort of couldn't get through without laughing. So.
People ask me all the time, they say to me, Conan, you know everyone in the business. And I say, thank you. And then they say, Larry David, is he exactly like he is on Curb Your Enthusiasm? And I say, yes, he is. You are exactly like that guy. You would claim that you're not quite that guy. But the times I've hung out with you at parties, I feel there might as well be a camera recording this for HBO.
Oh.
You are the same guy.
I take that as a tremendous compliment.
Yes,
because,
you should.
Because I got to tell you something. I love that guy. That guy. Oh my God. I am so in love with that guy. Yeah, really. He's my hero.
Yeah, he should be.
Yeah.
It must be nice, though, because you've carved that out for yourself. And then if people encounter you in real life, you don't have to in any way contort yourself to please them.
Yes.
You can tell them, I don't feel like taking a selfie. It's not really what I want to do right now. And they must love it.
And they laugh.
Yeah.
And they laugh. Except a couple of weeks ago, I got invited to a dinner party. And, 10 years ago, I would have gone, okay, sounds good. What's the address? And now, this time I said, who's coming?
Oh.
Yeah. It did not go over well.
The person was offended?
The person seemed to have been a little offended. And I wound up not going. Yeah.
Wow.
So there you go.
God.
So there you go. So I tried to be Larry, and it didn't work. But by the way, as long as we're on the subject, is it such a terrible question to ask who's going to? Why is it such a secret? Why is that a secret? I don't understand the big secret. You can't say who's going. Why? I don't get it.
Yes. I think you're within,
Right?
I think you were within your rights to ask who's coming.
Thank you.
Because you want to find out. Also, I'm imagining you have enemies. And, you want to make sure you're not walking into a party.
I just made 4 more as I walked into the building.
But, you want to make sure. You want to know.
Yeah, I want to know.
It's like a mobster who's going to a restaurant wants to know how many ways are there in. If I'm attacked, is there a way out?
Yeah,
you got to know.
Exactly, because a lot of times, honestly, you'll be invited to these dinner parties, and you find yourself sitting next to some insurance salesman, and you're there for 2.5 hours sitting next to him or her, whatever.
Yeah,
it's not comfortable.
Let me ask you a question, and I want you to be honest.
Yeah,
you came to my house not long ago. You didn't know who was going to be there. Were you pleased? Were you not pleased? And you can tell me.
Well,
were there enough celebrities to make you comfortable? Did you feel that it was a good environment, a good ecosystem for you?
I need like 3 comedians, and I'm fine. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do I count as a comedian?
Oh, Conan.
Conan. Poor Conan.
Oh,
Conan, you poor.
That's just sad.
You're
Just sad.
Don't do this to him.
Come on.
Yes, Conan.
Thank you.
You can, yeah.
Well, I wasn't sure. You seemed happy. You seemed pleased. But then at one point,
comedians, comedy writers, either one, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
But at one point, I noticed that you had retreated to a separate area and you were just observing. You were eating your food and you were just observing other people.
Well,
as if you were, looking at birds. And you were doing little sketches. And I wondered if that's normal behavior for you.
I'll tell you what. I don't like sitting with a plate on my lap.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And I saw there was a counter. There were stools in front of the counter. And I thought this would be a good spot to plant myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I planted. And it turned out to be a great spot because when people come over, this is what I do at parties, by the way. I always sit. You can't be in the middle of a room making small talk and then you're going, your brain is racing, Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm out. I can't.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
I got nothing. How, what? The bathroom? Do I have to go to the bathroom? Do I have to get a drink? Or I know, I'll do TV Larry. I'll do TV Larry. All right. Well, it's been nice talking to you. Yeah. And then you move on.
Right.
I think people know now that you can't have interminable conversations. They can't go on forever. There's got to be an out. There's got to be an out. You know what?
You're on a podcast right now.
How long is this going to go? We may be done.
And this is our special 5-hour salute.
No, but it's not.
It's a special 5-hour salute to Larry David.
But I think I have an idea for parties. You have a party sheriff, okay?
Yep.
And he sits. He's in a chair above the party. He's overseeing the party.
Yep, like a lifeguard.
Like a lifeguard. Or he's in another room on video.
Yeah.
And he's got cameras on everybody.
Like a pit boss.
Like a pit boss. And he's seeing the conversations. He's looking at him. He's seeing how it's going. He's looking at the body language. He's timing conversations. And then he sees that somebody's in trouble. And he goes, okay, all right, I got to go. He goes down. He takes the person by the arm. He goes, excuse me, this is over.
This is brilliant. This is brilliant.
I have to have this.
Huh?
I have to have this.
I mean, this is a great idea.
It's brilliant.
It's fantastic.
Thank you.
I love that idea. I think we've all been there.
He doesn't even pretend to take, hey, I need to talk to you about something.
No. Everybody's aware.
Also, does he flash a badge?
Yeah.
Does he put up a badge and say, this is over? This is over.
Everybody's aware there's a sheriff. There's there's somebody overseeing the party. By the way, I think I'd be a good one.
You'd be great.
I'd like to volunteer.
Oh.
I could do that job.
We need a podcast sheriff.
Yeah.
You could do that.
I definitely could do that job. A party sheriff, for sure.
All right. I think, I want you to do it for me. I'm going to set up cameras.
Okay.
Because I am a good host. I mingle. You probably saw I mingle a lot. I get to everyone.
I didn't get I got like 13 seconds.
Because I knew I knew that you were fine.
That I was fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't worry about you. And then there are other people I worry about.
Of course.
So I probably short shrifted you. You didn't get the full Conan, which is, I'm told, magnificent.
I felt a little on the shrifty side. Yeah.